Hello everyone, first alert StormTeam meteorologist Joseph Williams with your Valley News Now afternoon forecast. And so far this Sunday afternoon is not looking bad. Temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s across much of our region. However, we are first alert tracking the potential for severe weather. That's what the point of this video is. The point of this video, this broadcast, is that first alert weather day throughout the evening hours for this Sunday. So let's get right to the forecast to show you what I mean. The gist is we have the potential for severe weather up until early overnight. And to see why we're anticipating that risk, let's go over the details. Basically, we're looking at the potential for isolated to scattered severe storms the further west you go. The greatest threat of severe weather will be in the western areas of our region, where we're looking at damaging winds, large hail, and even a low to isolated tornado threat out west. Let's go a little bit more in depth with this forecast here. Much of our region, again, has a chance of seeing some isolated severe storms. We have a level 1 marginal risk covering the Red River Valley, for example. So the Red River Valley alone has a small chance of seeing some isolated severe storms. However, we also have this slight risk covering the James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin. So basically, if you're heading to central North Dakota for Sunday afternoon into the late evening hours, you have a better opportunity of seeing some severe storms. So if you're heading to the James River Valley and the Devil's Lake Basin, you have a better chance of seeing some stronger thunderstorms out west. And the greatest threats with those storms will be large hail up to 1 inch in size, damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and again, we have that low to isolated tornado threat in the western areas of our region. We also can't rule out some heavy rain from those downpours area. Going a little bit more detail with that tornado threat, again, you can see that while there is a low risk for tornado genesis impacting practically all of eastern North Dakota, just butting into Cass County, for example, the greatest risk, again, involves the James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin. So basically, the further west you are, the western counties of our region, you have a better opportunity of seeing an isolated tornado threat. An isolated risk means you may see a tornado or two, not like a tornado threat taking place. So an isolated threat, but it can't be ruled out. Because there's a chance of seeing an isolated tornado in central North Dakota, all of central North Dakota, including the Devil's Lake Basin and James River Valley, are under a tornado watch until 9 p.m. So again, that means any storms that form there could produce a tornado, and if it does, you'll definitely want to have that severe weather plan ready just in case. What about the wind threat? Well, besides the tornado threat, we also have an elevated wind threat, more or less in the same locations as that isolated tornado threat, the James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin. But notice that all of our region has at least an isolated chance of seeing some damaging winds. So basically, in the isolated category, I suspect wind gusts could get up to 60 miles per hour with any thunderstorms that form in this portion of our region here. And then in the elevated zone, that yellow color, the James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin, that's where we'll see wind gusts in the 70 plus mile per hour range. And all of us, and all of eastern North Dakota and the Red River Valley have a small chance of seeing some large hail of at least quarter size. All this is thanks to this complex low pressure system right here, which is making its way through central North Dakota. Not only is it lifting plenty of moisture and instability from the south, that's why we're seeing a whole lot of activity, a whole lot of these storms coming in from the south approaching our region, but it's also bringing rotation to the atmosphere just because of how large this low pressure system is. It's causing some rotation, so any storms that form could rotate, and if that happens, well, that means you could get the potential for supercells, and that means the risk of large hail, damaging winds, and that isolated tornado risk. Taking a closer look at our region, this low pressure system, again, it's bringing the moisture, it's bringing the heat into our region, and that means a very unstable atmosphere. That's what this graphic represents. All the orange colors especially represent large amounts of instability. And you can see that instability is concentrated across much of eastern North Dakota. So the James River Valley has that potential for that instability. And you can see that we'll still have a lingering amount of instability even by around 9 to 10 o'clock. So basically, much of our region has the energy needed to fuel some storms. And unfortunately, we're starting to see that storm activity moving into our region as of 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, there are no tornado warnings anywhere in our region. All the tornado warnings are out in central North Dakota. They're staying away from us. That's the good news. The bad news is, like I mentioned, our satellite and radar is showing some activity taking place in southeast North Dakota and in the southern Red River Valley. Let's take a closer look at one of these cells, for example, that's just to the southeast of Jamestown. It's basically accelerating north at about 35 miles per hour. This storm is likely to clip the city within the next few minutes. So Jamestown, don't be surprised to see some rumbles of thunder. Now, luckily, I'm not seeing any severe thunderstorm warnings popping up with these cells yet, but they are capable of some gusty winds, and as these storms move into that unstable environment, they could strengthen over the next couple of hours. And here's what that looks like on a first look forecast here. Again, where we had those thunderstorms in southeast North Dakota, this model is initiating it as just like one cell, but more or less you can just imagine, again, where I'm using my little arrow, that's kind of where our storms are at as of this afternoon. And basically those storms will continue moving northward. So by around 5 o'clock, they will have started crossing over I-94. So Lisbon, Valley City, Jamestown, again, make sure to have that weather plan in place for the next couple of hours as those storms get stronger. And you can see what I mean. Again, we'll start seeing some of those purple colors popping up with these storms, indicating some heavier rain and stronger winds embedded within those storms. The storms then continue moving north. So by around 6 p.m., we're starting to see some more activity approaching the James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin. So the Devil's Lake Basin may start seeing those storms moving in by around 6 to 7 o'clock. And meanwhile, we may see a few more storms popping up in the North Dakota-South Dakota border around that same time. Still moving northward, and by around 7 o'clock, they'll be on top of the Devil's Lake Basin, and we may see a few more storms clipping the James River Valley. And then we'll see some more activity continuing in eastern North Dakota throughout the late evening hours. But after about 12 a.m., after about midnight, that severe weather threat begins to die down because daytime heating is going away, and most of the instability was started to go away by that point in time. But we can't rule out at least a few isolated thunder showers in the southern areas of our region, so that by your Monday morning commute, we're looking at maybe an isolated shower or two, otherwise cloudy skies. How much rain are we anticipating throughout the evening and early overnight hours? Well, most of the activity, again, would be in eastern North Dakota, so that's where the heaviest rain will be at. We could see over an inch of rain in some spots. We are looking at some heavy rain as a result, too. So basically looking at an active Sunday evening and overnight, but I think the severe weather threat will be done after midnight. So that's my line of thinking, but I will keep an eye on that risk over the next few hours. And thereafter, we're looking at some more activity throughout the work week. Monday may see a few showers in the northern area. Actually, we will see a few more showers and storms in the northern areas of our region. No severe weather is anticipated on Monday, though, so that's the good news. The bad news is we are looking at some more showers and thunder showers in eastern North Dakota and the Northern Valley throughout Monday afternoon and evening. Then we dry out Monday night, but by Tuesday night, heading into Wednesday, we'll see another opportunity for some showers and storms, and then some more rain will move in on Thursday and Friday, and it won't be until the upcoming weekend that we're just left with a few isolated showers. So basically, the bulk of the activity over the next 7 days is between Tuesday and Friday afternoon. So keep the VNN First Alert Weather app on standby as we first alert track those storms over the next few days. Now, what about temperatures? Temperatures will be in the 60s for the morning lows, jumping into the upper 70s to low 80s during the afternoon hours thanks to a strong southerly wind lifting into our region, and we're still looking at that warm air lingering well into Tuesday afternoon, looking at highs in the mid-80s, in fact. However, by Wednesday, heading into the end of the week, temperatures will take a nosedive. We'll go into those 60s to low 70s. So we will see much more fall-like temperatures as we approach astronomical fall. So let's recap everything. Again, we have that severe weather threat expected in eastern North Dakota over the next several hours. I'm thinking by around 5 to 6 p.m. those storms will start crossing over I-94, and by around 7 to 8 o'clock, they'll be in the Devil's Lake Basin, exiting completely by midnight. And by that point in time, some areas could see over half an inch to an inch of rain from the storms, and more importantly, we could see some isolated tornadoes in the James River Valley and Devil's Lake Basin over the next few hours, along with the threat of damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and hail over an inch in size. So we're looking at an isolated tornado threat out west, along with damaging winds across much of our region and the threat of large hail too. Therefore, definitely have a severe weather plan in place over the next several hours. Make sure the car is parked in the garage. Make sure you know where you need to go if a severe thunderstorm warning is heading into your place, like know to get inside of like a bathroom or like a basement, for example. A basement would be the best place to go, but otherwise, a central closet or bathroom as far away from the outside as you can, basically putting yourself in the center of a building. So have a severe weather plan in place, and also make sure to have the notifications turned on for your Valley News Live First Alert Weather app. That's definitely a good thing to do. Make sure those notifications are turned on, because I will be giving periodic updates on the Valley News Live First Alert Weather app too. I'll also be on at Valley News Live at 9 and 10, giving you your latest weather forecast. So make sure to stay tuned for that too. I'm going to get off of here to keep an eye on the storms over the next few hours. So be safe out there, especially as we head into the evening hours.